the cryptocurrencies, that are really speculative assets. I don't see them as a financial stability concern at the moment. I do think they are risky. They're not backed by anything, and I think there's big consumer issues for consumers who may or may not understand what they're getting.
That was Fed Chair Jerome Powell talking crypto during his press conference earlier today. Despite the concerns, investors didn't care, really. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies erased earlier losses and jumped higher after the comments. So did crypto proxies like MicroStrategy, Marathon Digital, Riot Blockchain, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Clearly, the sort of green light for a riskier trade, Tim, helped this. So what did you make of the action?
Sorry, that was extraordinary music. What's also interesting about the Powell comments is that's all I got to hear. I couldn't see anything. I just heard this magical sound.
It was good music. If we could
so
just play it on a loop, that would be really amazing.
I don't know what it was. So interesting. He talks about crypto assets not being backed by anything. I mean, I hate to point this out, but neither is the dollar. So there is some sense of really it's what you're willing to be supportive of, and I'm not comparing the two. I do think we've seen a couple of these moments. In fact, there's been an argument that sometimes crypto has led some of the pullbacks we've seen in the last 2 or 3 months. Some of it is around expectations of liquidity conditions overall. So I think institutionally, the fact that the Fed is even having a conversation around crypto and addressing it tells you where there's a lot of folks that are buying pullbacks. And I think they're understanding that a pullback could be 20, 30, 40% is part of the reason these things run the way they do. But so far, that's been bought every single time.
Yeah, the not backed by anything comment was, there's a reason why you call it fiat currency. Grasso, what's your take on the crypto trade? Are you in some of the miners?
I'm not, but MARA, the one you mentioned, that's an interesting one. It's up 270% year to date. I think the fact it doesn't really matter what politicians or what Fed officials say about crypto. It's the fact that they're talking about it. So the more the conversation takes place, the more investors feel more familiar with it and are more apt to invest in it. Tom Lee brought up that stunning stat that 20% of the new homes that were bought on crypto profits. I think people want the idea of $1 and a dream, and they want to buy these crypto tokens, coins, currencies, anything and everything, all the above, and have a day to win the lottery or possibly win the lottery. So the investment will stay static in this space.
A Doge and a dream, Karen. That should be the motto for 2021. What is the environment for investing in crypto next year, you think? What's the backdrop?
I still think it's pretty good. I do still think that institutional adoption has a long way to go, so that's a lot of potential buying there. I can't imagine we'll have, that Ethereum will have a year next year like it had this year. Bitcoin maybe could, I don't know. But it's so volatile, you got to be prepared for that. But to me, even if the Fed is, doing the right thing here, the argument about fiat currencies and digital currencies is still there. So I'm long, it's volatile. I got to be prepared to lose a fair amount of money in a short amount of time. I am prepared. I'm staying with it for a while, certainly through next year.
Pete, what's your favorite crypto?
God, that's a great question. I like a lot of the names that feed into it. I mean, you guys are talking about Marathon, there's Riot, there's Coinbase. There's a lot of different names that I think you can choose from. I've been in just about every one of those names over the last year or so. Right now, I'm actually pretty clean, other than the fact that I do like some of the semiconductors because of the positioning that they've got going in for the crypto side of things. But I'll tell you what, it is interesting to hear Powell say that, what's backing it or nothing's backing it, to Tim's point, because I smiled when I heard that as well. It's just something that I think we're seeing most everybody is starting to really embrace this, Mel. I mentioned that with PayPal, by the way, with Wallet. There's a lot more adoption of this than I think meets the eye. And because of that, I think it is becoming something very, very real for those who don't believe in it. I think they're wrong.